All right, so today I'm going to show you a really super simple system, production, workflow, whatever you want to call it. It's going to allow you to level up your production, specifically your melodies, 10 times faster than anything you're doing right now. You do not need expensive plugins to do this. You don't need any crazy theory knowledge. And this isn't some quick tactic that's only going to work in a specific scenario or like a specific genre. I know this for certain because over the last 2 years, I've mentored a bunch of producers, all making different genres, different styles, and I've had them implement this workflow and it's worked every single time. Stick to the end as well because I got a little bonus technique that will really add that cherry on top. So this thing's broken down into a real simple 3-tiered system. To make this a lot easier to understand, you kind of want to think of this like making a sandwich. You've got your low end, which in this case is a bread base. That's the foundation that holds everything together. Then you have got the mids, which is going to be the body of your melody. So this is going to be the meat, the filling, you know, whatever you want to put in it. In this case, it's a bag of spinach. And then finally, you have got the high end, which is the top part of your sandwich. It could be the sauce or the toppings. In this case, it's just another piece of bread. And that's just going to add that kind of final polish and that shine to really make it pop. Such a random analogy, but make sure you eat your spinach, guys. Good for you. Take one element of that melody sandwich away and the whole thing kind of feels incomplete. But when you include all three of these together, you get a clean, full, balanced sounding melody every single time. So let me show you exactly how this works by building up a melody, and we're only going to use 3 instruments, one to cover each of those bases, and you'll see how literally by just implementing 3 instruments it levels things up. Now there's no rules to which one you should start with. This all just comes down to how you're feeling on any given day. But yeah, in this case I want to start with the mids. I found this really nice guitar starter. Yeah, really nice. Typically for your middle instruments, there's kind of like a few go-to instruments that work every time, piano being one of them, electric keys like a Rhodes Wurlitzer, whatever you call it, I can't remember the name of it now, guitars, acoustic guitars, electric guitars, even synth keys, but you have to be kind of specific and make sure you're picking sounds that have strong mids. But yeah, that's a good starting point for you to fill out your mids. So we got our middle instrument. If you guys want to know the theory of this, it's quite a simple melody. It's in A minor. We start off with a D minor, going up to an E minor, and then finishing on an F major. It just kind of repeats after that. But yeah, that's my middle section. If you're not too sure and you don't yet have the ear for it, then just slap an EQ onto it, play it, and just take a look. So we've got quite a strong presence here in the mids. There's a bit of highs, a bit of lows. It's a nice full sounding melody. You know, if I wanted to really be specific, I can cut some of the lows, tame the highs. Yeah, simple stuff. That's our mids taken care of. Next, I'm going to go for the lows. Again, no rules, but I'm hearing a nice bass line on this, so that's what I'm going to go in with next. You got a lot of choice here as well. There's no rules. It's just whatever you feel fits the vibe. You know, guitar bass, sub bass, 808s, synth bass, acoustic bass, anything you want, honestly. In this instance, I want to keep it guitar. I want to keep it authentic, so I'm going to come in with this really nice VST that I got. It's called the Romana 2. Really nice bass, guitar, VST. And yeah, I'm just going to play something in. Like it nice and bouncy. And again, if you're not too sure, just throw an EQ on it, take a look at it. We've got that nice sort of big fundamental low end right there. And you can shape this however you want. I know you might think like, oh, there's mids in that too. It doesn't specifically have to be all down here. It can be, you know, up into here. As long as the main sort of fundamental frequency is coming through around here, you're good to go. And boom, that's our bass taken care of. Now the next instrument is our high end. And again, this can range from a whole different bunch of instruments. This can even come from your middle instruments like guitars and stuff, you know, high notes in the guitar, high notes in pianos, Rhodes, whatever you like. But this can also spill over into other instruments like your lead instruments, strings, violins, vocal chops, pads, you know, anything with that high end sparkle. So yeah, in this instance, I like my flutes, so I'm going to choose to go with a flute. Again, no rules to this. I just fancy a flute in this instance. So yeah, let's put something in. Sweet. All right, sweet. We got the high end. For those of you that are curious, I used the Mellotron plugin for this. I just used the strawberry flutes. It's like the default preset that pops up. And once again, if you're not too sure, just take a look at your EQ. Yeah, plenty of high presence with this. Playing this all together now, we've got a really nice full sounding melody. Now you can go a step further. You can layer a couple sounds in the mids, you know, like a piano with a pad or a guitar with a pad, just something with like a thinner sound. Same with the high-end instruments. This all adds extra character, extra texture, but at the bare bones of it, you can create a really nice sounding melody by just using 3 instruments. Again, I have all the producers on my mentorship program doing this, and I specifically restrict them to only using 3 instruments when we're learning this, so it really like forces them to maximize every element that they're using in that melody that they're building. Now, I did promise a little bonus tip that I was going to give you guys at the end, and this really adds just that extra layer of just interestingness, if that's not even a word, but you know, just adds that extra vibe to the track. And that's by utilizing a real simple concept which I harp on about in every video, called call and response. Now, the best way to do this is to have one instrument play for a certain section of the track, leave a gap, and then that other instrument that we bring in is going to fill the void, is going to fill that gap, and that's what creates that kind of conversation, that call and response between 2 sounds. So what I'm going to do in this instance is create some space. You know, we've got quite a full sounding melody here, so let's see what we can do. So I like this section. I think maybe I'll just get rid of this little passing note and we can use something else to fill that gap. And then the same here, just grab a little empty section here. So this is our call. Both of these are going to be our call. We just need something in here to be our response. I'm thinking just like a basic sort of like vocal chop. I like that. It's like a distorted vocal. We'll go with that. So we want this vocal to kind of sit in this pocket right here, in the gap. We don't want them over the top of each other. Still will sound okay, but we just want to give it its own pocket in the track. So yeah, let's pull it over and find a little space that will sound good for it. I really like that. That's really nice. And then let's use the second section. Maybe let's go ahead and make this unique. And then we'll just reverse this section in so it almost feels like more of a riser. That's kind of cool. It feels a little bit too rugged right now, so we can blend that in. We'll just use some reverb, you know, some delay, a little bit of reverb, a little bit of delay. We'll put that just before it though. Boom, ping pong. And what we'll also do, what we're going to do is to make these feel like they're communicating even more, pan one of the high-end instruments to the left and the other high-end to the right. So we'll take the flute, pull it over to the left, like 20, 30%, and then we'll do the same with the vocals like that. Let's see how this sounds now. That's really nice. Boom. Now, in terms of how this was going to look in terms of a full track, I know we only have like a 4-bar loop going right now, but in terms of your arrangement, you don't need to have low, mid, and high all playing throughout an entire track, but you just need all those ingredients coming in and out throughout the track to really create something special. Now, this workflow is just one piece of the puzzle, but it will significantly level up your melodies in no time. But if you are a struggling producer, if you do feel you've hit some kind of like roadblocks and kind of like a wall in your journey and you need some structured guidance and mentorship, then a few spaces have just become available on my mentorship program. So if that sounds like you, then feel free to reach out through the link in the description below. And if not, totally cool, no hard feelings. Go ahead and watch this video next, where I take basically a beginner producer from being a beginner to pro level in just 90 days.